DLRs, hey, what's going on? Mike Boers with the Mike Boers channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking laundry centers, and we have a GE electric version. And in today's video, the proper and safe way on how to replace your drain pump. Let's get started. Making our way to the laundry center. As you see, ours is already removed and shifted to the center of the room. And inside the enclosure it just came out of is a brand new one. And we will get to that here shortly. However, this is a GE electric version. And this location is where we are going to be working on it, and again replacing the lower washing machine drain pump. First thing we need to do is disconnect power to the unit. Stepping inside the room, and we will reference the new one. Coming to the right side, in our case we've got the 240 amp outlet, and go ahead and carefully unplug your unit. If you have a gas unit, you should have the 110 outlet. However, taking a step back, we are going to keep the new one plugged in and just show you that we have completely unplugged the old unit and again cut all electrical power to the system. Camera now in position looking directly at the lower washing machine, and again we need to remove this front panel to gain access to all the internal parts including our drain pump. And DLRs, check this out, I have a very unique tool. And down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase this, and you will soon see why I love this tool so much specifically for this project. And with that said, we want to direct our attention to this little slot or gap in between the top panel and front panel. And if you bring your eyes in this area, you will see a beveled down portion or lip of the top panel, and that is the exact location of your lock clips or tension clips. And we will use this tool to release that front panel from those clips. Again, I'm just going to come in, and in our case our little tension clips are right here, and all I'll do is tap this in, and be careful because it is sharp and it's going to release the front panel. As you see that? That's that side, and coming over to this side, align it properly and do the same thing. Check that out. I'll set the tool down so I don't cut myself. And down at the very bottom are two little hooks, and you're going to slowly allow this to fall under its own weight and shift it up. And remove it. Set it in a safe location. Now to a front view of the laundry center with that front panel removed from the lower washing machine, and as you can see, there is our washer tub, electrical wiring, additional hoses, and coming right down to the lower left portion, there is our drain pump. And I will position the camera. We will begin removing electrical wiring and hoses and pull that entire pump out for replacement. Camera now positioned, and again looking directly at the drain pump, and check this out. I see a little shell. How cool. I might keep that. However, it's a good time to take photos to ensure when it comes time to install the brand new pump, you're connecting everything back properly. And in our case, on the left-hand side, we have an orange wire, and on the right-hand side, we have a black and white wire. And just carefully remove these. And as I remove these, I'm just going to ensure I'm not damaging anything else in the surrounding area. And there's that one removed. I'll just tuck that inside here for now and out of the way, and now to the orange one. There we go. Same thing, I'll just set that inside that little gap there and out of the way. And if you do this, just don't harm the electrical wiring. And now this entire electrical wiring or harness is completely removed from the drain pump. So when it comes time to remove this drain pump, the wiring is not going to come with it. From here, on either side, you can see one here, and we've got an additional securing screw on the left. Those are 1/4 inch size, and all I've grabbed here is just a 1/4 inch socket bit. And I'm going to remove those, and you may need to carefully push the washer drum back. And the reason I'm removing this is because when I remove those hoses, water is going to leak out, and I want to be able to lift this up just a little bit and fit a towel underneath to catch the water when I remove the hoses. And there is the screw. That's about 3/4 of an inch. And again, good time to take photos because you have rubber grommets here, and your new pump may or may not come with new ones. Now to the left side. And from here, the entire drain pump can be pulled up, and the other side is just a little stuck. I'll pull it up, there it goes. Check that out. It is a bit heavy, surprisingly, but again, I can now pull it up and fit a towel underneath there to catch the water that drains out of the hoses. And I did just that. I raised the drain pump and shifted the towel underneath it, again, to catch the water. And we've got the hose on the upper left. That's our drain hose that feeds all the way back and up and out of the rear portion of the laundry center. And to the right of that, we have a ribbed or corrugated hose, and that feeds to the lower portion of the tub. And you can see both have little tension or lock rings as opposed to worm gear clamps, and this one has an additional zip tie, and we are going to carefully cut that away. And down below in the comments and description will be a link on clippers just like this. As you do this, just be very careful that you do not cut the hose. That would not be good. There we go, and carefully remove the zip tie as shown there. And again, just be careful you don't cut the hose. Next tool down below in the comments and description is a link to this as well. We are going to carefully compress these lock rings and remove the hoses from the pump. And I may start with this one just to show you. As you see right there. And again, just compressing it as shown here. And I'm just working it up and onto the pump area. And that will allow me to carefully shift the hose, and you may need to twist the hose just ever so carefully, and it is starting to leak, and that's good. And I will continue. And I'm just pulling the hose, and here it comes. See that? And there goes all of that water. I'll try to give you a better view of it as I remove this. I'm compressing that clamp. I've got it shifted on the pump, and again, look at that. And again, it is very good to have a towel, maybe two. And I will remove the tension clamp here. And I want all of that out. In addition, I can lift up and slant the pump to allow that to drain as well. And from here, time to remove the drain hose. To the opposite side, and take note, in our case, our clamp is purple. Carefully align the pliers and compress that clamp and remove it. And we're just going to shift it up a little bit and push it back. And again, this may leak water. Not bad, but it is leaking some. And I will allow that to leak and drain out. DORs, there's the pump. Now taking a look at the removed drain pump and coming inside this hose fitting here, this is where the drain hose connected to. And there is the internal pump fan. And coming to this fitting, this is the fitting that the hose feeding out of the lower portion of the washer connects onto. And there is a front view or head-on view of the drain pump fan. And down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase a replacement drain pump. And here's some info for you. Back to the laundry center and down near the hoses where the pump is installed. And I removed the gray towel and shifted a dry towel in place. And the way the pump goes in is just like this. And I'm going to first connect the drain hose. And just be careful as you do this. These should go on very easy. And from here, I will compress that clamp and feed it on and secure the hose to the fitting. And make sure it is perfectly aligned and release the pressure or tension, and make sure that the clamp itself is on the hard mounted or plastic fitting of the pump and not off of it, because it will not create that watertight seal that is required. And make sure that the hose is flush or pushed down all the way and the hose is mating with this little tab here. Next, I'm going to install the clamp here, and you have a little tab right here, and the hose is going to be shifted on and pushed all the way flush with that tab. And I'm going to have to do a few things at the same time. I'm going to compress this clamp and shift it back, and at the same time continue to shift the hose all the way on and in place. And once that is all the way flush, I'm going to ensure the clamp is positioned properly as I release the tension. And double check that the clamp is properly seated or secured all the way around the hose, and the hose is properly seated and not bent or crimped. And as you can see, it is all the way flush with that tab. Double check everything, and if all looks good, time to remove the towel and secure the pump to the lower aluminum frame or base. Making progress, I have removed the towel and I have already secured the left screw, and I still have a little bit of play. Ensure that the grommet is properly seated on the mount or brace of your new pump and come in with the screw. and do not cross thread this, and ensure that it goes inside the hole, and you are screwing into a very thin amount of aluminum. And again, do not cross thread this and do not over tighten it. You will strip it, but you do want it snug, obviously. Once that's secure, it's going to be easier to come in with the zip tie, and this is personal preference, but the original had it. And same thing, make sure the zip tie is in between the clamp and on the hose and in between all of the tabs. And you have a few of these little tabs around this fitting. And that's just additional locking support as shown there. And I'm going to clip this away as shown there. And from here, ever so carefully feed the electrical wiring back through the hole. And again, in our case, on the left-hand side, the orange wiring and connection, feed that in until it locks and is in place. Same with the black and white, as shown there. DORs, at this point, the project is almost done. Just double check everything, both your clamps, your hoses, and how they attach all the way around and secure to the fittings of the pump, your two lower screws that secure the pump to the lower aluminum base, your electrical wiring, and that zip tie. In addition, just go back further inside and ensure that the drain hose and this washer tube hose is not damaged or crimped in any way. And coming inside to a closer view of the hose connections, and again, you have several tabs around the entire fitting. Ensure that the hose is properly seated, the clamps are properly seated, and the zip tie is secured. A quick view of the tools. Again, down below in the comments and description are links for these tools. Time to reinstall the front panel. However, first, coming up and back down, I do want to show you those little aluminum tabs that stick out that the bottom portion of that front panel need to secure onto. Camera now in position, and as I shift this front panel in place, I'm coming in at an angle or slant as shown here and ensuring that the lower tabs are properly seated and they look good. Carefully shift this up. You can see two little rectangular holes or cutouts. And all you have to do from here is just align it, tap it in place. Just like that. Taking a step back, and what you want to do next is carefully restore electrical power by plugging the laundry center back into the outlet and testing the system, running a cycle. And that's it. We hope this helps. Down below in the comments and description will be additional video links working on this exact laundry center. Definitely check those out. If you ever get to a point where you need to replace it, we show you how to properly prepare your laundry center for pickup. We work with the water hoses, exhaust duct, power cord, and more. In addition, a link down below on installing an interior clothesline. And when we get out of the pool, this is a game changer. We bring the suits right here and hang them.